Hi Capricorn, welcome to your end of June 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here, just starting over. It happens. The heart of the matter is the High Priestess, which is a very intuitive card. You know, this is not about logic. This is about, if you want to call it, the gut instinct, the intuition, looking not at the material world, which Capricorn, being an earth sign, might be. That might be your first inclination, but something deeper. Because sometimes something that is looking one way, and there's a bigger picture and a deeper story that really is connected to it. And if we look at the past position here, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is the farmer's card. It's the card of somebody who is evaluating their progress in something. So with Pentacles, this can be, you know, practical endeavors such as any kind of, if you've started a business and you're waiting to turn a profit, and you're kind of being, or if you have started to turn a profit, but it's very slow going, this can show that there is growth that is consistent, but it might be very, very gradual. And depending on your makeup, altogether, Scorpio, some people are more impatient than others. That can be what creates a bit of tension. Although I will say that with the High Priestess, it sounds like you are willing to wait because you're looking at it from a spiritual vantage point of knowing that, kind of like when somebody's in pregnancy, gestation period, and it's not like everything, you know, they know that there's a baby in there and they know that the baby is growing, just because it hasn't come out in that obvious sort of way. They have faith in whatever it is that they're doing. So there's that inner faith. And the higher message is Six of Wands, so victory is at hand. And this is not just, you know, looking at it from the mundane kind of perspective. It's saying, I mean, you can kind of like make this about anything in life that doesn't seem like it's like anything is happening, but it is happening on a different level for you. The universe is working on your behalf. And it can feel sometimes like, oh yeah, right, sure. But, you know, it's very interesting how life plays itself out. And I think that when I look at the card that indicates what is working against you, we have the Nine of Swords, and this is a card of anxiety. But this is something that you may have had to contend with anyway in life in general, where you have a tendency, perhaps, Capricorn, to see the glass half empty. Maybe it's that influence from the ruler Saturn, which is, you know, sometimes tends towards pessimism. Because Saturn is all about manifestation, making something crystallized into the physical dimension. And you know what? It takes that inspiration first. And that's our dreams have, you know, I was going to say a life of their own, but everything begins with thought. It doesn't begin with the physical. So we have to have our dreams, and we have to nourish our dreams, nurture our dreams, so that we can even believe that it's possible to make it, and that we will expend that energy, which the Seven of Pentacles connects to. And, it reminds me of something that I witnessed the other day, which kind of bothered me. There's a little boy in the park, and he was racing around on his little tricycle or whatever, and his mother was, I think she had another child with her, but she was on the grass, and he was, on the path, and he was saying, "Mommy, Mommy, I won again." And she goes, "It's not a competition." And I thought to myself, that's a good way of looking at it. I mean, he doesn't, maybe he's too competitive and he's only like 3 years old. And he said, "Yeah, but I won." And she goes, "You didn't win anything." And I almost went up to her and said, "You shouldn't say those things and dash his dreams. He wants to succeed, and he's looking to you to nurture his dreams and his to cheer him on." And it's but I didn't want to be one of those Karens, that's minding somebody else's business. But it just got to me. And I was thinking to myself, she didn't seem like, she didn't say it in a nasty way. She might be a Capricorn. She might be a Virgo. She might be a quote-unquote realist, okay? Well, I'm a Sagittarian and I'm a dreamer. And, I think of John Lennon saying, "You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." To me, the High Priestess is about, knowing that there's more, that life is layers. It's not just the surface. And the Six of Wands to me is our vibrational escrow. That's a Abraham Hicks phrase, that it's there for us. Our success is right there. Our accolades are right there. Accolades to me with the Six of Wands, where people are saying, "You have talent. I love what you did. I love this thing that you designed for me. It was beautiful, this jewelry. You did such a great job on that presentation. I'm really impressed by you." Those are not just strokes for the ego. They're affirmations of our contribution to the, collective. And I feel like they're our birthright. But the Nine of Swords is something that only we can conquer. We have to push back. There may be somebody in your life who is, creating this anxiety. And you have to reassess that relationship and saying, why am I connected to this person? Well, are they dragging me down in life? Are they causing me to feel bad about things, to look at the dark side? And, why do I choose to have them in my life when they're detracting from it? What's coming in is the Queen of Swords. This is a card of maybe having to make a decision about something. But I think it's balancing the water of the Queen, the intuition, with the logic. And somebody could say, well, that's impossible, Never the twain shall meet. And I disagree. One of the reasons that I do what I do the way that I do it is because I have a lot of earth in my chart. And I believe in being practical, even if you're being spiritual. I believe in it because I feel like it has to be, we have to be able to apply it to our life. I didn't want to say applicable. I was afraid I was going to say it wrong. To me, if it's something that's just abstract, it might be cool and it might be interesting, but it's not necessarily usable. And you don't have to choose. You can be the High Priestess and at the same time have your own business. or be a successful career person. It doesn't make you somebody who rejects the spiritual. If this is a relationship that you're dealing with, you may, for whatever reason, Capricorn, feel this sense of, is this ever going to show that it is the kind of relationship but a Capricorn person may be very cautious about things in life, including relationships, and say, well, I'm not sure that this is the person for me. And there may not be anything on the surface that is going to ever give you those answers, is basically what I want to say to you. So it may be that you need to look deeper. And that's where the High Priestess comes in. And the Six of Wands, too, to me, if you're dealing with relationships, is somebody who sees the good in you and tells you about it. Not somebody who finds your flaws. Maybe that's connected to the Nine of Swords. Somebody who always sees the part of you that needs improvement. Some people get in relationships like a project to try to fix somebody else, but they're not willing to work on themselves. Don't get caught up in that kind of a dynamic. Outcome, King of Cups. Oh, if this is a personal relationship, I hope that you have somebody like the King of Cups. This could be a mature water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, and water is a compatible element with earth. You know what they say, water nourishes the earth. If you are getting in your own way, this could be a counselor who you enlist to help you deal with your anxieties. I mean, in some cases it can be very crippling anxiety. If anybody who has ever had a panic attack, a true full-blown panic attack, knows how terrifying they are. And, anxiety disorder. And I remember opening a book one day, seemingly at random, but not. I don't believe that it works that way. And talking about, it's the fear of it that creates the adrenaline. Once you get, and this also applies intrusive thoughts, those kinds of things that get you hyperventilating. Once you realize that you are not controlled by your thoughts, that power goes away. It's because people are still very unconscious of things and they're kind of just reacting because a lot of it is buried. But the High Priestess is about doing that deep work. And so meditation can be such a valuable tool. Whether or not this is something that, if you have issues with not loving yourself, Capricorn, and this is getting in the way of your success, the meditation can make you see how your thoughts are not, you are not your thoughts. And that is a very valuable thing. And the anxiety doesn't have any power. It cannot, it short circuits, because when you're having a panic attack, it's just like everything starts to it's like a fire feeding on itself. And so the King of Cups can be a counselor. It can be a spiritual teacher or healer that helps you. Somebody who comes into your life who is the King of Cups, a very understanding individual, and maybe helping you out on some level with whatever it is. Maybe with the High Priestess, you're starting some kind of a healing business yourself, and you've got this person that can either work for you, or maybe he's a massage therapist, or a Reiki master, or shamanic healer. Who knows? In any case, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care.